Hello everyone, welcome to Masada. We're just at the entrance to the site and I want you to have a look and see everything here. It's a World Heritage Site and we are at the door coming into the site and going in at the bottom. There's a wonderful model over here that will show you what is Masada exactly. And I hope the echo here is not too much. Basically what you see down here is the mountain. This is Masada, it's just a mountain. And the story of Masada is very interesting. It was built originally by King Herod with a wall, casemate wall with palaces on the north and everything. And in the 1st century BC, this place will be later used by the Jewish rebels to live here after they run away from Jerusalem, and the Roman army will come and surround them, put a siege and a ramp up here and break the wall and go inside and take over Masada. In very short way, we just told the story of Masada, but let's go and see it and try to explain and see and basically experience the site. So when we come here, the best way to climb Masada is by foot or by a cable car. You can see a beautiful painting over here. You can see the Roman armies from the year 73 AD and the Roman wall, a siege wall. These are army camps. The 8 of them were built around Masada, and the top of Masada has 2 periods of time. One of them is the time of Herod, and the other time is the time of the rebels, using what Herod built here. The water you see at the back is the Dead Sea. Let's have a look at the Dead Sea. Where are you, Dead Sea? It's hard to see, but it's over there, not that far actually. Here is one of the Roman armies that has been reconstructed down here. We're gonna go and take the cable car to the top of the mountain. We'll have to wait because the one just leaving now. But look how pretty is it. Whoa! So much beauty over here. Bye-bye. Basically, the peak of the mountain is around sea level, a little bit higher. And we are about 300 meters below. The Dead Sea, which is down to the right, is 1,300 feet below sea level, a little bit less, even lower, 1,350, something like that. So Masada is very high compared to the area around it. And we're going to go up and try to understand what happened there and to try to tell the story of Masada. Okay, we're ready to start the 3 minutes drive of the cable. You can see the snake path down here where people walking down or up. It's a zigzag. It's the way to go up by foot. On the other side, there is another way to go up, but the original way is this one. And it's a beautiful... I'll try to get you to see the view around. Unfortunately, not a very good visibility of the Dead Sea. But definitely amazing view. Here we go.
ברוכים הבאים לקו הלאומי מצדה של רשות הטבע והגנים.
Welcome to Masada National Park.
Yeah, now you get the feeling of climbing up Masada. We're gonna get to Masada and explain everything. Basically, the story begins with before Herod, before King Herod. The Maccabees, the Hasmoneans, are creating a fortress over here, defending the eastern border of the kingdom of Judah. And here are the people at the bottom walking. And Herod is basically building this place for various reasons. One of them would be it's just a great winter palace with an amazing view, and you're about to see where was the place where King Herod had his cup of coffee in the morning. And basically, aside of a beautiful winter palace, this is a great place to run away in case of someone will take over. And who can take over the kingdom? We know that the Maccabees, the Hasmonean family, was always around. He was very afraid of them. He was paranoid. And Masada is a site that he could actually run away to from Jerusalem, get his army organized and take over again. Also, there's a very important reason that is north of us. From the northern palace, he could make sure he could see a very important place north of us, up there, and we'll talk about it from the palace when we see it. We will be in this site later. It's called Engedi. But as we come here, as we get to the upper station, we can see the entrance, and there's a very unique place down here that I want to take you first, because we cannot understand Masada without understanding where do you get water from. There's no water here. It was a very smart way of learning how to get water. Okay, we're off the cable car, and we're gonna try. It's locked. I will try to show it to you. Let's see. Okay, so here is the beautiful view of Masada. We can see the bottom part of the Dead Sea, the what's called the Dead Sea factories, pools, and we're walking down here a little bit to show you something very important. Oh, some climbers. I know this guy. Okay, so going down here, you can see basically this channel that actually collecting money from, collecting water from the top of Masada, the flat area on top that we will see soon, and the water will come in here. This is a huge water cistern that is part of a very big system of water cisterns, and these water cisterns had plaster around the wall. This hasn't been treated and a lot of it collapsed. The plaster is very important so the water will not go into the walls, but the main question is, where do the water come from? So we do have a little bit of rain, and if you know how to catch the rain, so basically you can have this is a huge one, but there are 6 times bigger than this one on the other side of the mountain. We have flash floods here in the desert, and these water that are running in the little brooks of the desert are being collected, or used to be collected, by the system of the water here that was created by the Herod's architects. And this is just a little cistern that's collecting the water from the top. There was enough water here in Masada for the spa, for water, for Roman bathhouse, and for drinking water. The systems used to work even after Herod died, and so this is a little bit of an example of one of the water cisterns around here. We're gonna try and get into the site. So here is the entrance to Masada. We can see over here what Masada was built out of. Rocks. Where are the rocks from? Basically from here, from the quarry. They had to take them out of the rock. This is a quarry over here. Now when we come to Masada today, One of the famous things we see is this black line on the walls. You barely see it here. It shows us up to what level the walls used to come to get when they found them. But basically they reconstructed the walls to a whole building according to buildings they found over here. The buildings were surrounded by or covered by plaster, white plaster, and and that's the way Masada was used to look, like white, like every Roman city. This is the entrance. When we come to get to the palace, we need to go through the commanders of the mountain. Here's Herod. Look. Hello, Herod.
It's very dangerous.
How are you?
I'm fine, fantastic.
So that's part of the fun here in Masada. We meet people like Herod from the past. Their spirit is still here. Wow, it's loud here. But I want to show you something really cool. When we come into the welcome room of what used to be the welcoming room, and over here you can see frescoes. You can see the beautiful colors that the plaster was painted before it got dry, and then it stayed. This is original. You can see it's below the black line, and we're going to try and pass the groups of the kids, so it will be more quiet. We're going to walk to the palace. There's one of two palaces that were here in Masada, the northern one, the more significant one, and walk through the storerooms. These storerooms, we're talking about 15 storerooms, that in them they found remains of date tree or date seeds and food and jars and olive oil and everything, and they were found like that. You can see that this stone fell into one of them. They were found like that, and then the walls would be brought back when they reconstructed. Hopefully in the future. These storerooms, it's fascinating. They found some date pits and they planted them in the desert, and today we have date trees, palm date trees that are giving us fruits from 2,000 years ago. This is crazy. Hopefully when you will come you will be able to taste it. They found here jars for wine and for grains, and there was enough food here to feed the whole mountain with people and soldiers and everything. These storerooms were full when the rebels are coming here. Another friend. Okay, climbing up to the northern palace is something that we need to be ready for, because you're about to see a beautiful building, beautiful view, and beautiful design also. This is how the palace used to look like. We're gonna go and be here in the upper part. Beautiful semicircle balcony. There was a circle part in the middle, and over here big part of the palace below. We will see it from the upper level. Hello and welcome. Okay, first let's see the view. Wow, it's hard to see, but you can tell there's Dead Sea over there, and this beautiful view, and the cliffs, and the rest of the palace is down there. Two more terraces. He actually extended the mountain of Masada to be able to build the palace, and you can see here below the big Roman army camp where the commander Peter O'Toole, Flavius Silva, was probably there. You can see the defended area for him inside his own palace, inside his own army camp. This is already after Herod's time, when the Romans are coming here to fight against the Jewish rebels. And you can see the little siege wall that's running all the way, telling the Jews there's nowhere to go, no one comes to rescue you. Over here in the northern palace, I just want you to see behind me. The palace itself is very pretty. There, the living room, the sleeping room, the bedroom is over there. This was a beautiful courtyard, the balcony. Very nice palace. And here I think we can understand another reason why Masada is built here. If we'll try to zoom there, you will see some trees and some over there in the haze. It's hard to see with the camera, but basically this is where Ein Gedi is located. In Ein Gedi there is a huge source of income for the kingdom of Judah. Herod knew that. It's called the balsam perfume industry, and even Cleopatra got this area, and Herod got it from her after Mark Antony gave it to Cleopatra, because En Gedi was a huge thing. The balsam perfume, it was an oil that was made there. Basically all the women of Rome wanted it, and it was a big, big oil. It was used also in the temple as incense. And this is why maybe Herod is building his palace in the north, trying to tell himself, I still have En Gedi, or seeing En Gedi every day, he knows he still have the money and he still have the power. This is another model of the palace, and this is a great way to look at it. And from here we're going to go to the bathhouse, small bathhouse but beautiful one with the three parts. The cold room, the middle room, and the hot room. And we're going to walk in there, see the bathhouse. We'll go and see how the water system used to work. And we'll finish at the synagogue. Obviously, the synagogue was built by the rebels. We have a lot of kids here with a mic. Hopefully we'll be able to hear it. Here, we're going into the courtyard of the bathhouse. Over here, there's workout. There's getting ready for the bathhouse. This is the place where people used to, and you can see how the Jews who came here later adjusted the bathhouse with the water to a mikvaot, to a place to have a ritual immersion pools that they needed to their life. Here in the first room where we're going now in, you will see a little bath that was used probably for dishes, but again you can see the beautiful frescoes, the little bath that came here later by the Jews. Later means the 1st century AD, 70, and it was built. They didn't care about this beautiful floor called the opus sectile. This is the tiles of the beautiful floor called the opus sectile, and the frescoes that Herod built here. And again, more of this beautiful floor, the opus sectile floor, the fancy schmancy floor that used to be on top of the Temple Mount also, and in Herod's palaces. This is the middle room where you get ready for the hot room, and into the hot room you have to go through the narrow door so the heat will not come out. Now, how do you get a hot room? It's very interesting. You have a floor built in the air on little pillars, like that, and even into the walls, behind the plaster, you have pipes. Outside of the building, there was an oven, and there was fire over there. Hot air will come under the floor, and water will be poured on the floor and get steam. The steam will climb up, and this is why they actually have an arch over here, a vault, so all the water will not drip on the neck directly. They will go to the sides, slide down by the arch. This is a beautiful remains of a beautiful small Columbarium, a hot room of the Roman bathhouse. And I will give you a better shot of it as we go out, backing out. You can see the Columbarium. and the location of the oven. Going out now back to the courtyard. This door was not here, just for the visitor it opened. And I'm gonna walk now to where they found the lots, and I'll explain about it. So basically, how do we know what happened in Masada? Okay, Herod, we know we have from Josephus, but also we have the story in Josephus that the Jewish rebels were talking about 900 people, families coming and living here for 3 years. Jewish life, Jewish community life, with a synagogue, with everything. And when the Romans are coming over here, they understand they have no other choice. They either have to fight, but if they'll fight, there is a chance that their identity will be taken from them. They won't be able to be Jews. They will be slaves, and they won't be able to keep kosher and Shabbat and anything. And what happened here is that their leader took a decision. Their leader, Elazar ben Yair, is giving a speech, according to Josephus, and Josephus knows about it because he's claiming that 2 women survived. But listen to the story. Everyone, all the family, the heads of the family took a lot, and the one that came out of the lot was the one supposed to kill everyone. Each head of the family will kill their own family, and then he will have to fall on his sword, commit suicide. Horrible story, but it's coming from trying to stay free under God, which means don't let the Romans to take over your life. And again, we only know it from Josephus. Again, 2 women and 5 kids survived, according to him, and the Roman soldiers breaking in eventually, bringing them into Rome, and they're telling him the story. Okay, so basically, in this room, they found an amazing thing. They found potsherds, little ceramic pieces with Hebrew names, exactly like Josephus is telling us. These archaeologists believe it's a picture of all the lots, the Hebrew names that took the lot of the last ones who stayed in Masada. Over here we have the name Ben Yair, Elazar, and next to it Yoav, Yud Vav Aleph Bet, Yoav, my name. I love it because my name is here in Masada, and it's actually a biblical name. And throughout all the Jewish history, Yoav was a name that went through. It became a very common name in the 80s, 90s. Today it's like every commercial on TV. It's Yoavi, the little boy. So basically, it is a fascinating finding over here when we find the lots that Josephus telling us about them that they took before they killed everyone, before the Romans break in to Masada. Now we're gonna go to see the water system. As we come here to the other side of Masada, we can see rooms in the wall. I love it because from here, these rooms used to be for families when the Jews were living here. You can see the other side, and you can see the water system. This is where the water came from, these valleys, and another one over there, and they've been captured by a little dam and went into the cisterns in the cliff below us. On top of Masada we can see more water cisterns. This one, the ceiling has collapsed down, and here the Jewish rebels built a little mikveh, ritual immersion pools. This is where the water used to come in. Now you see that they created a little pool. אהלן.
היית יופי גאה בך.
תודה.
רוצים את הבג"ץ? כן?
Okay, so we are here, and I want to show you again this fascinating water system that Herod's engineers are designing. You see, when it's raining here, even for 20 minutes rain, this riverbed will start running with water, flash flood. Over there was a little dam that took the water from the foot of the ramp that the Romans built later. It killed it over here. A channel that actually took the water underground into water cisterns that were built in the cliff down below here. And basically we can still see the tunnel running over here, and the water cisterns are in the cliff, hidden from the people below. The people below cannot get there. You can see one hole of one of the cisterns. There are dozens of them, or even more, huge ones. And slaves will bring the water up to the water cisterns on top of Masada if needed. I can show you the model over here, if it's going to work. You can see that you can see the holes of the cisterns, and just 1 second, we need to fill up some water to pour on the hills, and you can see the holes of the water cisterns. I'll show you a little bit. I'm gonna pour some water over here, and like on the hills, and there's flash flood is running, and you can see the water running in the channel into the water cisterns over here. This is how it used to work. Very sophisticated, very protected, and still needed people to activate it and bring the water up to Masada, to the top. Basically, when the rebels are coming here, they need community life, and what they are doing, they're taking one of the rooms in the wall, and they are building it as a community center, as what we call Beit Knesset, synagogue, a place for reading the Torah and gathering of the community. And this is a very famous place, the synagogue of Masada. Until today, Jewish kids coming to celebrate bar mitzvah like they used to celebrate 2,000 years ago almost. It's a beautiful synagogue, square one, and in here, beautiful. You can see the seats. Until today, they're doing what they used to do here when there is a bar mitzvah ceremony here. They found some scrolls from the time that the Jews were here, almost 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago we can say, under the floor of this room. Some of them were biblical scrolls. One of them is from Ezekiel. It's called the Prophecy of the Dry Bones, talking about the return of Israel to their land. And it's very exciting. When they found it, it was a very exciting moment, because these people finding it in the 60s, they had in the 70s, 60s, they had such a big Zionism in their heart, coming back to our land, and this was a very unique moment. Walking along the wall, we can see here some rooms that were used for pigeons, what we call Columbarium. They used to have little niches for growing pigeons in them, so the pigeons will be used for meat also, but also for their guano, for the droppings, for fertilizers. There were probably fields around here and there on top of Masada. And I'll show you the Columbarium, the remains of it here. You can see the niches here, there, a little bit. As we walk along the wall, we will get to one place where there's a missing part of the wall, and this missing part is where the Romans are breaking in the year 73 to finish the great revolt, the uprising of the Jews, to find everyone dead over here, according to Josephus Flavius' story. And below the break of the wall, we will find the ramp that the Romans are building by the Jewish slaves they had, probably, building the ramp to bring the battering ram to break the wall, the tower. You can see how it used to look like with the painting. And here's the break of the wall, and we're getting closer to see the ramp. The ramp is big, it's built from stones and some wood in it even. This is all artificial, coming here, reaching here, and to break the wall. This is a beautiful site on the other side of Masada, and we're gonna go, and I think we're gonna finish here. Look at these rolling stones that were found over here. Maybe the Jews over here are not rolling them down because they see their friends building the ramp from Jerusalem. Okay, so with this beautiful view and this very interesting site of Masada, I want to finish it and tell everyone hello. It's me behind the camera, and we'll continue our tour. But this is Masada, and there's more to see here. It's a big site, and you know what? I'll show you one more thing here. If you look behind me, there is even a church, a little chapel that was built in the 5th century by monks over here. And it's a beautiful small one. This is the last time people used to live in Masada in the 5th century. So for about 1500 years, it's been abandoned and unknown. Only in the 1830s, it's been recognized. So by this beautiful chapel with a beautiful window up there, we will finish, and hope you will have the chance to visit here as well.